So you are all very, very fortunate because life is very rare and we are very fortunate souls get the chance to practice devotional life. So today we are covering the very important topic of this period of Bhagavadgita. Before that, will somebody like to introduce yourself? Can do that. Maybe one sentence, two sentence, 10 sentences up to you. Ever. So you answered very well. 28 questions, right? I think among Prabhuji. So beautiful. What's your name, Prabhuji? Ajay. Ajay Prabhu. So you're from which place? Karnataka. Karnataka. Good. Prabhu. Oh, yes, sir. The from Bhagavadgita. The. I am first of very nice. And from Hubli Karnataka. Hubli Karnataka. And yourself, Prabhu? I am for last second year. Very nice. So you're all fortunate and also studying. Compared to the stress we have outside, you compare the study, the what stress you undergo is very, very less. So why we have to understand the spirit of Bhagavad Gita? Because this modern society has become such that both internally and externally we are fully stressed. There are a lot of competitions. There are a lot of demands from the family, demands from the society, and so many things which come on our way as we grow in different phases of our life. So this causes anxiety, and some students may undergo anxiety disorders, depression. Why they undergo that? Because the stress is very less comparatively, but still they undergo. One is lack of support. Second thing, lack of spiritual knowledge. Because these teachings of Bhagavad Gita, it gives us inner strength, which is very, very important for us to lead a healthy life. So it's like there are different dimensions of life, right? So we have car running in the four wheels. So in order the car runs very smoothly, we should all the tires should be fully full of air. It's not punctured, right? So just like that, in human aspects also we have four dimensions. We see one is the social dimension, where man is a social animal. We cannot live individually. I cannot say that I will go to forest and I will live there alone. Man is a social dimension. Second thing, we need to take care of our family, personal life, to have personal dimension. Third thing, we have to work, our study, we have to earn all these things, the financial and the obligations we have. That is the third one. But all the people are very nicely taking care of these three things. But people have forgotten the fourth thing, which is that the spiritual dimension. So people are running with one tire punctured. So how the car runs with one tire punctured? It drags the tire. So in the same way outside, if you see many of the people, they are running with three tires only. So they are dragging the line. So when you run the car with three tires, then it's not running properly, you become frustrated, obviously, because you don't have the fourth dimension. Fourth tire is not properly air or it is punctured. So it is very important that we take care of that dimension of spiritual dimension. When we ask this and tell this that we should have the spiritual dimension, many people will tell that I don't have time, right? You ask anyone, students, oh, there are so many things to study, right? You may observe, maybe you are in first year or second year, you may not feel that much. Third year comes, every slowly the industrial things will start. Then there is the internship. So many things you have to prepare. I don't have time, we tell. But can we run the car with three tires? No, we should have the fourth dimensions of fourth tire also. That is why it is important that we set aside particular time for our spiritual practices also. In that spiritual practice, there are a lot of Vedic literatures. You know, four Vedas are there, 18 Puranas are there, so many literatures. But which is the important one and which gives the essence? Hmm? Bhagavad Gita. It is said in Bhagavad Gita, everything is, the essence is there of all Vedic literatures. Okay? And also, what is not there in other Vedic literature is also there in Bhagavad Gita. So it is very important we understand the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. So now we understood importance of Bhagavad Gita. What is that? The essence of Vedic literature is there in the Bhagavad Gita, and some of the things which is not there in other literature also, it is there in Bhagavad Gita. So modern man is faced with lot of challenges, and of course in your future life also you will come up with so many future challenges. You maybe after studies getting the job, nowadays artificial intelligence coming up. So my team I am leading, that most it is predicted that, not to scare, but 30 to 40% of industry jobs will be cut down because of the Gen AI, agentic, the tools coming from the artificial intelligence. So all these things creates a lot of challenges, and the person sometimes becomes confused what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to survive in these challenging situations, and that is from the challenges coming from outside, and there are challenges which are inside my heart. There are anger coming sometimes. Lecturer speaks something, we get angry. My friend speaks something, we get angry. Sometimes lust attacks. Sometimes we want to acquire so many things in the form of lobha, greed. And sometimes we quarrel, sometimes somebody will try to exploit. So many things also struggle from the inside. There is struggle from the outside, there is struggle from the inside. So Bhagavad Gita gives us the solution that, how to practically apply the teachings of Bhagavad Gita in our life and be happy. It is not that challenges stop coming, challenges will come, but we get the inner strength and inner happiness to face the challenges or face the sufferings which the outer world throw upon us. So this you see this people are running, Mumbai trains and all. You are seeing how Mumbai trains are crowded. Even Bangalore now, horrible traffic. So people are running and they tell we don't have time, we don't have time. But where the man is running towards? It is like football. Football is there, players are there, but no goalpost only. What football match you will play? There should be some goal, right? So similarly, in our life, we should have some goal. Then everything else will fall in place. If you don't have the goal, it is just like playing the football without the goal post. So now Bhagavad Gita as it is. So many we may say that some people may say Bhagavad Gita is mythology. How do you say whatever is explained in the Vedic literature or the different shastras? We don't believe it. But in the ancient world, it was called Vedic science. Science means what? Science means it exactly works the way it is told, mentioned, right? For example, we have gravitational laws. How does the gravitational law work? We know whatever is thrown up, it comes down. This is a science. Water flows from top to bottom. It's a science. So similarly, Bhagavad Gita or Vedic literature also science. Because in Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned, we are not the body, we are the soul. Then there is a beautiful book written by Srila Prabhupada, Science of Self-Realization. So it's also a science. So it also accurately works like that. So the proof is great scientists like Einstein or Oppenheimer, and politicians like Radhakrishnan, Gandhi, philosophers like Emerson, and so many great personalities. Even in today's present world, if you see our own Prime Minister, he presented Bhagavad Gita to Putin. So many great personalities, they have imbibed these teachings of Gita in their life. So it is not a mythology, it is an authentic spiritual literature. It is a Vedic science. So we have to understand this point that it is a science. But this science, how to understand it? First of all, what is the position or the glories of this science? In throughout the literature, many glories are there, but to see few things for our understanding, there are a lot of glories. But in Gita Mahatmya, it is written, Maline mochan nam pumsam jalasnanam dine dine sakrat Gita mratasnanam samsara. Can somebody read? Well, just like that you can read. The one may cleanse himself, that one you can read. Translation. One may cleanse himself by reading the path of water. But if one takes a bath, even once before my head is, the other of the exam, but not him, the word of the Indian life is all over the Gita Mahatma 3. Another shloka we'll see. Sarvopanishado gavo Dogda Gopalanandana Pato Vatsa Sudirbhokta Dugdam Gitamratam Mahan. All the fishes are like cow. The cow is not the son of Dhamma. It is the cow of Vedita. The obstinate devotees of God is our interest and enjoys of God. Nice. Very nice. Now the third one. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Geetam Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva Eko Mantrastasya Namani Hani Karma Prakem Ekam Tasya Devas. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. 7. So you got the essence of 3 shlokas now. It is like sacred Ganges also cleans oneself, but because of the material life, we have so much dirt on upon us. Huh? So that dirt, how to vanquish it? Through reading and understanding and applying Bhagavad Gita in our life. Just like one takes bath in sacred Ganges and cleanses himself, just like that, we read Bhagavad Gita for him, the dirt of material life is vanquished altogether. Then this sloka 6. All Upanishads are like a cow, and the milker is Lord Krishna. Arjuna is the cow who is drinking the beautiful nectar of the milk, Gita. And fortunate devotees of fine theistic intellect are the drinkers and enjoyers of that milk. So this is also said in terms of there are many scriptures, right? And even in Bhagavad Gita, we see so many versions of Bhagavad Gita. But which Bhagavad Gita we are supposed to read? We sometimes become confused. That is why it is said, Evam parampara praptam imam prapja shrayo vidu. So, which is bona fide coming from Guru Parampara, that Bhagavad Gita we have to read. That is why Srila Prabhupada, it, how Krishna told this, gave this knowledge to Arjuna. Same way he wrote the Bhagavad Gita, same knowledge he gave, and he wrote it as Bhagavad Gita Yatharup. Yatharup means what? As it is. So without any misinterpretation, just like a postman is there. What postman will do? What is the job of postman? He will collect from the letter box. Then he will take it to the post office. Then it will be scanned, everything. Then as it is, he delivers to the address written, whomever is the recipient, right? So same way, the Guru Shishya Parampara, the Guru gives the knowledge to Shishya, just like Arjuna, Krishna gave this knowledge to Arjuna. Same it is as it is delivered. So when the same knowledge is delivered as it is delivered by Lord Krishna, then it is pure and perfect. That knowledge. So then that knowledge has complete effect. So here it is said, Bhagavad Gita, let there be only one scripture and only one God, that is Krishna. Let there be only one mantra, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, because it is not becoming sectarian, but it is telling this fulfills all the purpose of all the religion. The essence is it fulfills the purpose of all the religion. So that is the essence. So Kali Yuga, we have very short life. It said hardly 100 years, but that also we are not living here. So we cannot understand the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, all the things. But that's the thing is, the small book of Bhagavad Gita, if we understand the essence of it, our life is perfect. So just to perfect our life, this Bhagavad Gita itself will be enough. So Srila Prabhupada said, even implementing or practically applying one shloka, that also gives immense benefit. So now said time for you. Can you match? Just take 1 minute of time. So Upanishads is what? We'll park that. Bhagavad Gita, Ekam Shastra. Lord Krishna, Eko Devo. Arjuna, cow. Learned scholars meant to drink the milk. Hare Krishna Mahantra, Eko Mantra. Devotional service. What are the things left? Yeah. Karma api ekam. And pure devotees, cover boy to milk the cow. Actually, pure devotees, right? And Upanishads is like Ganges waters. Right. Now, so let's go ahead. Spirit of Bhagavad Gita, how it is. Although Bhagavad Gita is well known, only one who has taken up in the spirit of devotion can understand it. So many people will try to understand Bhagavad Gita in different perspective. And even in Bhagavatam, it is said there are different type of realization, the Sakshatkar that of call it. There is Brahman Sakshatkar, there is Paramatma Sakshatkar, then there is Bhagavan Sakshatkar. But the spirit of Bhagavad Gita is devotion, the highest Bhagavan Sakshatkar. So we have to understand the spirit of Bhagavad Gita is, we have to understand the Bhagavad Gita with the spirit of devotion. So devotion means always devotional service. So it is called Bhakti Yoga. So throughout the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's gives emphasis on Bhakti or the devotional service. This point we have to remember. This is the essence of today's class. If you understand this one point, it is we are taking a lot from this class. Right? We have to understand the Bhagavad Gita with the spirit of devotion. So, in order to take this in the spirit of devotion, we should have humility, vinamrata bhava. So, of course, we ask questions. How would this run? We had quiz now short while ago. All these things we discuss, question and answer sessions, everything. But we never challenge the arrogant, because Bhagavad Gita cannot be understood in that arrogant mode. So Krishna, what he says, Bhaktosi me sakacheti rahasyam me dadu. So one who is my devotee and one who is my friend. So Arjuna, you are my devotee and you are my friend. That's why you can understand Bhagavad Gita. In order to understand the spirit of devotion, let us see one small story of South Indian Brahman who attained perfection just by reading Bhagavad Gita in the spirit of devotion. So this is explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and as we know, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself who comes as his own devotee, right? So if you don't know, then it's fine. Still, but he is Lord Krishna himself, and we have Gaur Purnima coming up very soon, March 3rd. So he's called Dancing Lord. So Dancing Lord, when he was performing pastimes in this earthly planet, so he goes to South India tour, and in Sri Rangam, the holy place of Sri Ranga Kshetra, he comes across a Vaishnava Brahmana who used to visit the temple daily, and he used to recite this Srimad Bhagavad Gita shlokas, but he was not able to pronounce properly. Sometimes it's natural, right? Maybe we may not be able to quote the Sanskrit shlokas. Sometimes here and there it happens. So what used to happen? The Sanskrit, there are many Sanskrit scholars at that time, and they used to make fun of him. You are reading Bhagavad Gita every day, but you don't know how to quote these shlokas. Why do you then chant it every day like that. But he had that devotion inside his heart. And because of his devotional qualities, he used to get that immense happiness from inside. Because when we get purified within the heart because of this lust, greed, and anger, when we are becoming free from all these things by regularly chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and we are reading the scriptures and trying to intellectually understand it, our mind, intelligence, and false ego becomes purified. And when our heart becomes more and more purified, our internal happiness and internal strength will increase. How do we get the internal strength? When we become more pure, because of the purity, one gets the internal strength. So that's why it's that purity is the force. No? This Brahmana, Vaishnava Brahmana was very pure, and he had a lot of devotion inside his heart. So he was getting immense spiritual ecstasis. Ecstasis, this ecstasis means it is like these symptoms of extreme happiness where this body cannot take. It shows the external behavior symptoms of that. So this Brahmana used to get those kind of symptoms because of that internal happiness when he is reading this Bhagavad Gita, and he had this devotion. And he was not bothered about what others people are saying. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to South India too, and he saw this Vaishnava Brahmana. And when he saw this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what could see that the ecstatic symptoms are manifesting, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, how you are getting these ecstatic symptoms? Which portion of Bhagavad Gita makes you such transcendental pleasure, that happiness from within, how it is coming for you? Then the Brahmana told, sometimes I read Bhagavad Gita correctly, and sometimes I cannot read Bhagavad Gita correctly. I read it incorrectly. But in any case, I try to recite it very sincerely because my spiritual master ordered it. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, that's okay. But why you are crying? Crying with the symptom of happiness. There are two types of crying. One is miserable, he will cry. One is too much happy, then also he cries. That is a crying of happiness. So why you are crying in happiness? Lord says then. He says, whenever I sit with the Gita and see the front page, what Krishna is with the Arjuna, and Krishna is Partha Sarathi, is the chariot driver of Arjuna. The Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka, Krishna is the proprietor of unlimited universes. This is what Earth is a small part, and many of us, all the people outside, they don't know beyond this life. We don't know beyond this planet. That is the unfortunate situation. But Bhagavad Gita says beyond this life, beyond this planet, and it gives the information of the highest planet and highest realm. So Krishna being the supreme personality of Godhead, Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka, he is Bhakta Vatsala, he becomes chariot driver of his own devotee. Devotees, what is devotee's position? Devotee is a small Atma. But Krishna is like immense. In Vedic literature, it is said unlimited Shaktis, like the energies are there with the Lord. And this entire creation is but a small portion of it. So such a Lord is become the chariot driver. When I think of Lord's Bhakta Vatsala, he is the Bhakta Vatsala, and especially how he is kind to the devotees, this thought makes me cry. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very happy. And then he tells that you have achieved the perfection because you understood the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. That Bhagavad Gita cannot be understood by material intelligence. So we have to understand. Oh, I am a IIT student. I have studied in USA mechanical. I mean the MIT is there in there also, right? Here we have MIT here. We when we are studying, we used to tell, where are you from? We are from MIT, as if we are studying in that university, you know. But the thing is, we are so much proud sometimes. I have studied in IIT. I have studied in abroad, and we can see in our industries and all. They know little bit of artificial intelligence. They can code this way, that way, and they become so much puffed up. Like I know so much. I know in and depth, in and out of the coding. But all this is material intelligence. This with this material intelligence, we cannot understand the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. So, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, you have understood the spirit of Bhagavad Gita because you have devotion in your heart. Otherwise, externally reading Bhagavad Gita and quoting some shlokas, it is just exercise in futility. Futility means it becomes waste. So there are some set of spiritualists you might be knowing called Mayavadis. But they also quote the Bhagavad Gita, slokas, everything, but they misinterpret the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna has no form, Krishna is impersonal. So, and some brains they cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, the point to be taken from this story is we have to understand the Bhagavad Gita in the spirit of devotion. Then, even though we don't have material intelligence or we have material intelligence, we can understand. But if one has only the material intelligence, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge it remains hidden for him. It's because it is confidential. It is said rahasyam etaduttamam. Rahasyam etaduttamam means rahasyam, confidential. But only by the mercy of Guru, only by the mercy of Acharyas, and only by the mercy of devotees like Arjuna and Shukadev Goswami, Vyasadev, from their mercy, we can Srila Prabhupada, so we can understand the spirit of Bhagavad. So short activity can take 1 minute of time till this. I think there are some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are there, right? So maybe 2 you can finish. Anybody can start. Although Bhagavad Gita is well known, only one who has taken it in a spirit of devotion. And devotion can understand it. Bhagavad Gita is not a mythological treatise spoken by some mortal, but it is the eternal, timeless, mature voice of the Supreme Personality Godhead, Sri Krishna, who is addressed as Bhagavan, the possessor of all 6 opulence. Beautiful, thank you. Very nice. We'll go further. And then there is a second story. This is very, very important in our present life. We can understand it. Maybe we'll finish it within 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. See, there is Lord and there are Lord's energies. And Lord's energies cannot be separated. Just like we put a fire here. Along with the fire, there is also heat and light. Heat and light are part of fire. Just like that, when we say Krishna, Krishna also means Krishna's energies. So, what is happening in the present world is they tell we want Rama Rajya, but without Ram. Is it possible? Ramarajya we want, but without Ram is not possible. So, in the similar way, we have to. So, people want to make so much of money. If somebody comes and tells that I will give you 10 crore, anybody will easily accept it. So, what the point is, everybody want money, and money is represented by Lakshmi Devi. But everybody want Lakshmi, but without Narayan. So the same thing Ravana also did. What? He wanted Sita without Ram. So this story, how many of you know this story? Arjuna and Duryodhana going to Krishna. You know? All three of you know this story. In short, what happens? They go to Krishna because war is decided now. And Arjuna sits near the leg. Duryodhana comes near and sits near the face. So Arjuna, Duryodhana came first, but Krishna saw Arjuna first. So what Krishna says? I will not fight one thing, and I will divide into two things. You can take me, I will not fight, or you can take my Narayana Sena. They will fight. So now Duryodhana was in anxiety that Arjuna might select the Narayana Sena. But Arjuna, what did he select? He told Krishna. So Duryodhana is like very happy inside, but he says that, oh, now I'm only left with Narayana Sena. Okay, don't have any other choice. I will take it. So here we have to see Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and Narayana Sena is like as energies. Now Pandavas had how many Akshauhini Sainya? You know, 7. And Kauravas, how much they have? 11. But who won the war? So Pandavas won. Why? Because Krishna was on their side. And here, when Arjuna chooses Krishna, Krishna asks one question. Why did you choose me, knowing I will not fight over my army? Then what did Arjuna ask? Arjuna replies, there is no doubt that wherever you are, there will be victory. So last sloka of Bhagavad-gita is also that the same thing. Yatra yogeshwara tatra pato. So that shloka. So we can understand the devotional spirit of Arjuna towards Krishna that made him in the war. But Duryodhana was materially calculating. So you are dividing the energy from the Lord. Just like Ravana wanted to kidnap Sita in the absence of Rama. So it is the exploitative mentality, or the you say in subtle form, it is kind of arrogance. So if we have such kind of mentality, we cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. We have to have humility and spirit of devotion. So somebody can read this. With this, we'll finish. Second. Yeah. The first. Ask yourself.
Ask yourself this question. To whom would you get back to someone who loves and just wants to exchange love with you, or to another person who comes to you to flatter you, to get some money from because you are rich. One is attracted to you, the other to your pocket. Similarly, love is like Hanuman are attracted to the Supreme Lord Ram in his service. On the other hand, demons like Ravana are attracted to the Lord's energy. Thus, such demons want the kingdom of God to know God, and so they invite their own.
Thank you. Nice. So, one who is a devotee and a friend, Bhaktosi me Saka Cheti, even though it is a confidential knowledge, and many people cannot understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita, but still, if we become Bhakta, a devotee and friend of Krishna, and friend of devotees of Krishna, that confidential knowledge will be revealed to us by the mercy of Acharyas, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So this will not cover. Maybe you can go through your leisure requirements for understanding Bhagavad Gita. There's some activity times and other things. Maybe if you are interested, you can take the PPT and just work on it. It's very interesting also. Hare Krishna. So is the Bhagavad Gita real or symbolic? We understood it's not mythology. It's a science. So it's symbolically, we can apply in these teachings in our life. And when we apply these teachings in our life, we become purified. When we become purified, we get inner strength and inner happiness. And all are looking for happiness. Even the ant is looking for even the lizard is looking for happiness. Trees are looking for happiness. Every living entity is looking for happiness. And the inner, internal, that extreme happiness we can get when we practice this principle of Bhagavad Gita in our life. Especially, it starts with chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So now we understood the essence. So we'll practically apply it by chanting one Hare Krishna, round of Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.